Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead and time for Thankful Thursday. So this Thankful Thursday is going to be a little different for a few reasons, but the main reason is I really couldn't think of what to talk about. And so I was talking to Rhoda at Peace Be Still, and she mentioned true love twice. And I said, okay, there's my sign on what to talk about. Well, when I looked up true love for verses, I could find pure love. So why don't we make it both? And the second thing is, I didn't really know what I wanted to make. So my niece and I were talking, and she said, well, I seen you did something with cottage cheese. Why don't you, have you ever tried this? And I'm like, no. And she goes, well, maybe you should. So I'm gonna. So, all right. So it's going to be a little bit different. This was from other people to come through me. All right, so I picked out 3 verses of the Bible to kind of go along. And then we're going to make what we're going to make, and we're going to talk, and we'll see how it comes out. The first one's 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 5. And I was actually married to this, my first one. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. The second one, Proverbs 8:17. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. And then this is my favorite verse of the Bible. Well, I've got quite a few favorites, but one of my favorites. How's that? John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. So I think those are some good verses. What do you think? All right, so her idea was, let's make some chocolate ice cream, but we're going to make chocolate ice cream with cottage cheese. I know, right? So if this turns out really good, you guys can all thank my niece, because it was her idea. She's seen what I did with those Snicker things or whatever it was. And she goes, well, you did the Snickers, so, you know. And I'm like, okay. So we're going to try this. I mean, everything that I've made with cottage cheese has been really good, so I don't know why this wouldn't be either. But you picture ice cream as, you know, like something a little bit different, but that's okay. There's a lot of recipes that we think are a little bit different, right? All right, so we got that. Then we need a half a cup of cocoa. I'm going to try to do this without making a mess. How's that? But you guys do know me, right? So we got a half a cup of cocoa. And then we need a half a cup of maple syrup. Or you can use honey. I'm using maple syrup. It's coming. Slowly but surely. All right. Look at that. Half a cup of maple syrup. Maple syrup. Can't even talk today. And then we need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So then we have our vanilla. We're going to put the lid on there. And we're going to grind this up really good. Alright, so you're supposed to blend it until smooth, which I've done. And I've got a little container here. Hopefully it all fits in there. Look how thick that is already. Oh my. I didn't think it'd be that thick. That's awesome. Oh. I can already taste chocolate ice cream. You know, it's really funny. If you were to see me eat ice cream here at home, this is kind of how my ice cream ends up, because I wait for it to melt just a little bit and then I stir it all up. I know, I'm weird, but that's okay. Look at that. Just spread it out a little bit. We're going to put the lid on that. And it says to let it freeze for an hour or two and stir it every 30 minutes. But I'm going to do that. But you know, I have to taste it. That is not cottage cheese. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I'm not even to lick into spoons anymore. Oh my gosh. That is, hands down, the best tasting chocolate ice cream I've ever had. Tom might not get any. So let me put this stuff away and then we'll come back and we'll talk. Alright, everything's taken care of, and then I had to do my dishes. I don't like dirty dishes in the sink. So I'm really not sure how to talk about it today, but we'll figure it out. We always do. So, when we talk about pure love or true love, it doesn't always have to be about God. It can be about humans, animals, whatever you want it to be. To me, let's go with God first, okay? If you think about it, His love is so pure and so true to us. It doesn't matter how many times we turn our backs on Him, because you know it's us turning our backs on Him, not the other way around. It's not the other way around. Like, I can remember right after my divorce. I don't believe in divorce. And so to get one was just like gut-wrenching. And because I had done that, I felt that I wasn't worthy. And that God would never love me, nor forgive me for doing what I had done. And I remember, I don't know how long after the divorce it was, my youngest son, that doesn't believe in God anymore, asked me to go to church at one of his friends' dad was a pastor at. And I don't remember what he was talking about, but I can remember tears welling up in my eyes. And by the time the service was over and I said goodbye to his dad and all that good stuff, you know, I got out the car and I just broke down crying. Because I came to the conclusion that forgiveness was given by Him already. So, you know, I look at it like that chalkboard and you write on it, and then, you know, once you've asked God for forgiveness and you don't plan on ever doing it again, He takes that eraser and He rubs it off and He forgets about it. And, you know, I wish people could do the same thing. That would be great. But that takes true, honest, pure love to forgive you for any of your transgressions, any of your sins, any of you turning your back on Him, anything like that. He doesn't question you. He doesn't say, well, you did this, this, and this, and why did you do that? And you know, like, He just says, Chris, I love you. And if you really mean it and you really are sorry, I forgive you. I love you. Come on back. And I'll keep watching over you and wrap my arms around you. You know, I came to the conclusion through all of that, it wasn't God that wasn't forgiving me. It was me. His love never left. It didn't. His love was there the whole entire time. But I needed to see that for myself, and I needed to realize that for myself. I think as we grow up, it doesn't matter if it's friends or family or workmates or church or whatever. At some point, everyone, at some point, I should say, some people get disappointed in you, or they, you know, you've done somebody wrong or whatever, and I don't know how to say it. And, you know, you can ask for forgiveness and you can love, and you love past that. No matter what they do, if you truly love them, you'll work past that and you will love past that. I think that, like, we all, like, when we think about it, you know, like we think about that first love. You know what I mean? My first love actually was my ex-husband. And, you know, there was the puppy dog stuff, but my first love was my ex-husband. And we think that it's true love and it's pure love and it's all those things. But honestly, I have thought that I loved a lot of people. And I did. I truly did. But until I had my son, and they placed him into my arms, and I looked down to see how beautiful and how perfect he was in my eyes. He was very beautiful, though. But at that point, I knew what true love was. I think we thought about it before, and we knew, oh my gosh, that's, you know, that's the cat's meow kind of love. But once that baby's put into your arms, and for those of you that don't have babies, I'm not saying you don't know what true love is, because you do too. I'm making an example. But at that point, at that moment, there was a love that I had never, ever experienced in my life. Because, you know, you say, oh, I'll take a bullet for that person, or I, you know, whatever. But that little person in your arms, you would do anything to protect them. You would do anything to love them. You would do anything to make sure that nobody would ever hurt them. And so that true love really comes out. So then when you think about God, and you think about we are His children, and so you've got to imagine how much and how fierce and how strong that love is for us. And yet we take for granted every day. Not that the people like our kids, believe me, they take for granted sometimes how much we love them. And sometimes they don't realize until we're gone how much they really needed us and how much they really loved us. And that's sad that we sometimes can't figure that out when we're here on earth, you know. But, you know, and when a child looks at you, I'm not going to call it true love because it's not that, but it is pure love. Children have this, you know, like, they trust you beyond words. And they know that you're not going to hurt them. They know that you're not going to put them in harm's way. And they know, even if they don't know the words for it, you know what I mean? They know your love for them is so pure. And let me tell you, a kid's love is so pure. Like, you know, I'll be sitting there, and AJ one day he said to me, he says, Grandma, you're the best. And you try not to cry in front of him because you don't want him to think, he's got me wrapped. But he meant that. That's pure. That's love. When Emmy now, he's learning to say, I love you. And when I drop him off at daycare, I'll hold him for a minute and snuggle him, and then Jack will take him up to the house. And so I'll look out the door and I go, I love you. And he goes, I love you. Like that. That's pure. It's pure. Unless you do something to break that, that is pure as it's going to get. I don't even know what I'm rambling on about today. I really don't. I've been having a hard time with a few things. And so my mind goes blank sometimes. And so this week I needed a little bit of help. But I do want to say something. I am not a super Christian. I'm not. I'm very flawed. I fall short from the grace of God every day. Every day. And I talk to God all the time and tell him, you know what? I got a lot of working to do. I hope you got a lot of time. Because I don't know that I'll ever hit to where I'm good enough to go to heaven. I hope and pray that I do. But I think that there's no such thing as a perfect Christian or whatever. We all fall short. I think we all have our own walks with God. And one may lead you one way and one may lead you another. And my Thankful Thursdays and my channel actually, I felt was led by God. And I felt it a calling. And even the very few that discouraged me from doing it, you don't trump God. And I'm going to listen to what he has to say. So I'm not a super Christian. I'm flawed in very many ways. Believe me, I'm flawed. I make mistakes every day. And I know that God, he forgives me. He has such true love and pure love for me that he forgives me. He knows, he's hoping that I'll always live up to, get up there, girl. Come on, you could do this better. Come on. And I don't quite make it. It's like walking up that ladder and you skipped a step. And you're like, oh no, you went back down 3 rungs. But his love for us is pure. It's true. And I know that it was a verse that I got married to, but I still love it. I want you to listen to it again. Love is patient and kind. And this doesn't matter if it's with God or human beings. Do you ever notice, especially now that I'm a grandma, I've got a lot more patience for my grandkids than I did my kids. Because, they're just, a little different. But things that would have gotten on your nerves back then, it doesn't now. I don't like a bunch of whining and whatever. It's still the same. But, you see those commercials call grandma, she'll say yes. It's like that. But love is patient. Sometimes it takes time for someone to come around to do what they're supposed to do. Love is kind. Love is not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to hurt. It does not envy or boast. It just is. When you see, I look at people at church, and they've believed in God their whole lives. And you look at them and their complexion's so clear, and they look beautiful. And when they talk about God, they just radiate, and it's beautiful. That's love. They're not boasting. They're not envious. It's just love, and you can see it. It's not arrogant or rude. That's true. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable and resentful. When you love someone, whether it's a person, a dog, a cat, God, whatever, you can't be resentful. You know what I mean? You can't, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway. I do that a lot. Do you ever notice that? But anyways, I'm glad she brought this up because we often think we know what love is. We often think that people love us or whatever, and then we're thinking to ourselves later on in life, like, maybe not. You know, and I think it's important, especially nowadays. There's so much going on. So much going on. That we need to love and embrace love and appreciate love and desire it. And I don't mean desire it as like, I mean desire the feeling that love brings you. You know, like when I look into my kids' eyes or my grandkids' eyes or Tom's eyes, you know, I think they can feel like I don't even have to say anything. And they know with my eyes. Oh, they know if I'm mad too, but but I think like your eyes are a gateway to your soul. And I think it says a lot about you. And, you know, like, I think you should be able to feel love. I don't think it's that high school giddy kind of, I love them. I don't think it's like that, but I think you should be able to feel love, as in the way that people treat you, they talk to you, act towards you, what they do to you, what they don't do to you. I think that you can feel the love someone has or has not got for you. Like even on Tom's worst days, I know he loves me. And same with your spouses too. I'm sure you know that. Sometimes we're just like, you know what I mean? Like, but even as much as they've irritated us, we can't think of anybody else we'd love to spend the rest of our days with. You know, I think, I'm not sure what to say, Rhoda. I really don't, but I think love has to be one of the most important things out there. I really do. Not gonna cry. I think love makes us do the craziest things. And I think love makes us do the stupidest things sometimes. And I think the lack of love can break a person's heart in a million pieces. You know, you see these people that, you know, they're walking the streets and there's like no life in their eyes. And yet when you go up to them and you talk to them, or, you know, you give them a meal, or you just talk to them, that life comes back in their eyes and they twinkle. Now, as brothers and sisters in Christ, we're supposed to love everybody. And that should project, you know what I mean? And maybe it does. Because for that moment, there's a sparkle left in their eyes. I think love, real love, there's so many things that it can heal. I know that sounds really crazy, right? But if you feel loved, The rest just falls in place. I think that's what I was supposed to learn today. Everything else just falls into place. So, you know, if you've done things, whether it's to God or another person or whatever it happens to be, ask for forgiveness. Let that love come into your heart. Let that love leave your heart to go to someone else. Feel God's embrace, especially this time of year. You know, we all talk about Christmas and his birth and all this other stuff. He was sent here. He was sent here to die for us. Because God loved us so much. And he knew we could never live up to the expectations that he had for us. So he sent his only begotten Son to die for us. That's love. We can think that the half-hearted love things that people give to us is something. It's nothing. So today, my assignment for you is love like there's no tomorrow. Really. Because tomorrow is never promised. Accept that love like there's no tomorrow. You know what? Grab a hold of your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, your grandchildren, your children, and hug them closer. And let them know that you love them to the ends of this earth. AJ told me the other day, I love you millions and billions, Grandma. That's a lot. And feel that love that they have back for you, if they have it. Yeah. I wasn't going to get teary-eyed, but if love is causing you pain, it's probably not love. I don't know what it's called, but it's probably not love. Yeah. We got this. Can I say that I'm in love with everybody out there? No, because I don't know everybody out there. Do I love you? Absolutely. 100%. Even people that I don't like, I love. I think that if there was more pure love and more true love in this world, and you know, it doesn't even have to be love for a person. I just thought about that. Like if your passion is like right now, my passion is my channel. I love doing my channel. I love talking to you guys. I love every part of it. I'm in love with my channel. I know it's not as big as a lot of these other people's channels and whatever, but it's growing and it's there's so much love there. Like, so much love. You guys just, there's so much love. And that means the world to me. You can love with passion. And I don't mean that. I mean passion with, you know, your work or a project or whatever. You're not going to be in love with it, but you're going to have a pure love for it because it's something that you really, really want. There's something else I learned about it today. It doesn't have to be a human or God. It could be, you know, a project or something like that. Or, you know, helping somebody else succeed or whatever it happens to be. Love really is pure, isn't it? It's just so simple. If we could just get all of our world leaders to know that love is really important, maybe we wouldn't have these wars and stuff. You know what I mean? Who knows? But I've rambled on for long enough. I hope anything made sense today, because I've been like putting it off and like thinking, "Ugh, I don't have any idea what I'm going to say or do. I just don't." So hopefully it came across and it was strong enough that, especially during the holiday seasons, there's so many people that don't feel love, you guys. There's so many people that feel lost. And sometimes I believe just being teary today, sorry. Love can bring you out of the lost. You can love your way through a whole lot of things. Yeah, you can. Let me get my ice cream. We're going to try it when we stir it the first time. All right, so let's get to stirring. Now this is like, to me, more of like a pudding, but it's only been a half hour. Look how good that looks. Let me show you here. Doesn't that look beautiful? And oh my, there's a spoon with stuff on it. You guys, honestly, you would never know that was cottage cheese. It's really good. Thank you to my niece for suggesting that too. But you can make strawberry, you can make all different kinds. I'll put the recipe below for the chocolate, but you can do any other kind too. So I'm going to put that back in, and then I'll let Tom try it at dinner, see what he thinks about it. I guess it gets really hard, so you want to make sure that you get it out a few minutes before you serve it so that it'll soften up just a little bit. So anyways, today I hope that I made some sense, and I just want you guys to know you are loved very, very much, and you're very much appreciated. And it's not because it's Christmas and you get all sappy. I love you guys all the time, and I do appreciate you, and I really couldn't ask for a better group, because you guys, you got it going on. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Be a blessing. Be blessed. And I'll see you at supper.